Good evening, everyone. I'll have with me shortly Mr. Devon Porter. This is MPEC TV. So I'm just giving him a few minutes to get on. Today we'll be talking about Reggae Boyz football. It has been a rough journey, for the Reggae Boyz, but we are here to look at, what went wrong and discuss the way going forward. So I'm just waiting on my guest, Mr. Porter, to join me. All right, so my name is Howard Wilson, and I am the host for the MPEC TV. Well, I know I have not been around for a while, because work has started, and the time would not afford me to upload videos or even go live. In fact, this is my first live recording, so just waiting on Mr. Porter to get on so we can start proceedings. Okay, so it's official, the Reggae Boyz is out of the 2022 World Cup, but we should not give up because we have 2026 to look forward to. We have the Nations League to look forward to. So we have a lot to discuss. Right, so I must apologize if the quality of my camera is not that great because just before the stream started, somehow my camera went down, so I had to go for my backup camera. So just bear with me. So I'm just waiting on my guests, and hoping that persons would provide questions, for Mr. Porter and myself. Hoping that I could invite Mr. Ricketts, the president, to answer a few questions as well. That will be very good because we have a lot of questions to ask, and we would like officials from the JFF to really come on and answer these questions because we want to know why is it since 98, over 20 odd years, we have not gotten a chance to qualify for the World Cup since. Alright, so I will invite Mr. Ricketts. Hopefully, he can come on and answer some of these questions. Okay. All right. But first, I must congratulate the Red Girls, on their 9-0 thrashing of the Cayman Islands last evening to set themselves in a good position to qualify for the next phase of the qualification. Certainly, the team is looking better, and hopefully the team will gel the way it's supposed to gel in time, I'm kind of disappointed though of the surface of the Truman Bodden Sports Complex in Grand Cayman because I used to live in Cayman, and trust me, when that stadium was built, that surface was a lush green, nice surface. So I'm really disappointed to see that the surface has run down the way it did. But persons who are on can check in. Let me see who is on. While I wait on Mr. Porter to join, and while I try to share the link so that more persons can come on, because I don't really normally do live videos, so I'm just trying to share the link with as many persons as possible, so that persons can join on and participate in this live stream, and so we can look at the Reggae Boyz campaign and discuss what we have in store or what can be done to so that Reggae Boyz can move forward. All right. I'm not seeing Mr. Porter as yet, so just give me a second. Let me find out what's happening to Mr. Porter. Um, just give me a second. Let me call Mr. Porter, see what happened, and get back to you. All right, Mr. Porter will be on shortly. He's trying to connect. He's having some internet issues. So I know Coach Minzy might be tired. You know, I would love to have Mr. Minzy on in this discussion as well, but I suspect that he is tired. But hopefully he can join later, so we can have a discussion. All right. So as you come in, you can like the video, share the video. Like I said, I've not been live before, so share the video so that we can build up an audience and discuss the Reggae Boyz football going forward. I happened to watch a video recently on Ryan's program with Mr. Speed and Mr. Butler. It was really disappointing, and to it was really disappointing how the gentleman dealt with the interview and the football. So um, we don't really want to say much about that, but we might touch on that as well. While I still wait on Mr. Porter, I'm just sharing the link so some people can join us. Okay. All right. So what we notice is that over the years since '98, Jamaica football has somewhat declined. Now, the approach I have seen at all the levels is that 6 months before, or sometime even 3 months or a month before a campaign starts, that's when we are trying to recruit players and assemble a team. We're trying to jostle here and there for practice matches, and stuff like that. And that is a wrong approach. That is a wrong approach because if we're going to excel in football, even in the CONCACAF region, we have to build a team that that gel together. We have to assemble a team years before the start of a competition. So, for example, the under 17 and the under 20 football, it would be good if we assemble those teams, say 2 years before. So, for example, if we're going to have an under 17 competition, then we should be looking at the under 14 and the under 15s 2 years before and get them in a program. I mean, from time to time, you'll have changes because persons will get better than others, but at least you have a core working with over a 2 year period. So when the qualifications start, you would be more than a year together, gelling as the guys get older. Same thing for under 20. If we're gonna assemble an under 20 team, then we should be looking at the under 17, the under 16, and the under 16s to the under 18, right? 2 years before the competition, so that the core can gel together. Now for the senior team, welcome, Mr. Porter.
Impact, thanks for having me, man. I
Yeah.
was having a bit of problem with my internet. I don't know what really happened, but I got it sorted out, and then as you know, I'm strapped for time. I have a training session at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So
Yes. Yeah. Told me.
yeah. Well, I'm hardly hearing you. I don't know. Is your microphone?
Oh, you're hardly hearing me. All right. What really happened? My camera went down shortly before I started, so I had to go to
Oh,
a
okay.
backup camera. So
Yeah.
this camera, in order for if I go too close to the computer,
Mm-hmm.
um, you won't be able to see much of me. So maybe
Oh,
I'm
okay. I
a
see.
little bit far away from the computer. Are you
Oh,
hearing me
okay.
better?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. So this is my first live stream actually, because I usually do pre-recording videos and upload them. But I wanted to start earlier
Oh, okay.
so that I could schedule it like an hour or even half an hour before, so I could actually share
Mm-hmm.
the video or the link earlier. So I really didn't get a
Oh,
chance
okay.
to do that because I know that you have to go to training. So I just scheduled it for like a 10 minutes. So I really didn't get a chance to share. But if you can share on your end to like Stan and some of the others, um, so we can build an audience. But nevertheless, the video will be on YouTube. So after we end the stream, persons can still watch it later on.
Yeah, and not only that, we could also reschedule another one and do another one as well because it's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, man, it's a
And
lot of stuff to talk about. So I don't think we'll be able to dissect everything today.
no, no.
But we can talk a little about what we can delve into it a little bit, and then we schedule another one. All right. But before we begin, what are your thoughts so far on the Reggae Girls and their achievements so far?
I think the girls are doing well. I think the earlier games um was a bit lackluster to me in terms of I think when we play in minnows of this level, we should be able to dismiss them early and score a lot of goals against them because that Bermuda team that we played before and Grenada, I don't think those teams are formidable teams. In CONCACAF, players on it. People who have been to the World Cup know what it is to go through a campaign and win. And with a caliber striker as Bunny, I I think Bunny is in the top 10
Yes.
women striker in the world. I honestly think she's in the top 10 women striker of the world. Other people might think differently, but she's a imposing threat up front. Big, strong.
Strong. Yes.
Runs at defender with no fear, and I think the last game, which was yesterday, the Cayman game, they kind of assert themselves and give Jamaican people and also myself a view that they're gonna be a force to reckon with in the knockout rounds. And
Yes.
I wish them all the best. I wish Coach Vin all the best with his team, and I hope everybody rallies behind the team. One thing I notice with Jamaican fan base is that we are very impatient. We are very impatient in terms of we always want to win. It doesn't matter how we win, but as a coach, I have a different views. I prefer to see my team come out and play good football, and whatever the result is. But I want to make sure that they look the part and they are the part and play good football. You know, um, the majority of Jamaican fan base just want to know that we win, whether we win pretty or we win ugly. But if the team is playing good to me and we lost by a narrow margin, then it's positive. It's very positive that the team is playing good football. What do you have to say?
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. A lot of persons were a bit concerned after the first two games, because we didn't look so fluid and we didn't score as many goals as we ought to. But I think they're getting into their own now. Some of the veterans are coming back into the team, after sustaining injuries or other reasons kept them out of the first two games. I still have not seen the likes of Patterson or Blackwood um, and a few others. So hopefully by the start of the next phase, we'll see those players. But I think we have a strong team, and we can well, we only can get better from here. And once a coach make the right selection and does the right thing, I think they will do well and qualify for the second World Cup.
Absolutely. I think this is not our strongest team. I think there are other players out there that can come into this team and complement this team, make this team a little bit better than what it is. But majority of the players are there. Um,
Yes.
yeah, there's a player called Murray. Um, she's a very good player. There is Primus, and Primus is the daughter of Portsmouth, the former Portsmouth defender Linvoy Primus. So there are people out there that can come into this team and complement this team. The only thing I would like to see is that we need more friendly games together for the team to gel more, because if you looked at some of the link up plays, we are not fully there yet. You know, we are better than who we're playing, but when we get to the knockout phase, and you have the America, the Canada, the Mexico, all those teams, it will be tough, and I think what the top four makes the World Cup.
Um, yes, I believe it's the top four. Yes.
And is there any playoff teams?
I would have to double check. I'm not a hundred
Yeah,
percent
because
certain.
I'm not sure myself. I think
Yes.
there is because it's gonna be two groups of fours,
Yes.
and the
The
top
top two from each group.
two from each group goes into the final round, which is for the championship. Who is
Yes.
to crown the CONCACAF championship? Okay,
Right.
and then I think either one or two teams from that 8 team pool, I think, have a playoff. I don't remember, because I know they changed up a few little things since COVID.
Okay. Yes, sir. So, um, now to the matter of hand. Before I came on, I was saying that one of the things that I think we have been doing wrong over the years. I don't know if you'll agree with me. Since '98, is
Hmm.
we wait until 6 months or even 3 months before a tournament. We start scouting and assembling players and new players come in, so the core don't get a gel well in time, with the new players. So one of the thing I was saying is, if we're having say an under 17 tournament, then 2 years before the start of the qualification, what we need to be doing at that stage is to be looking at the under 14s, the on well 2 years before under 17 would be under 14s and your under 15s, right? So we would put them in a program in a pool, getting them to gel. I mean, over the 2 year period, you'll have players getting better than other players, because they are youngsters. So new players will join, but at least you would have a core working with over a 2 year period. So when the qualification start now, then you'll have a a potent team. And same thing for the under 20. 2 years before, you need to be looking at the under 16s, the under 17s, and the under 18s. And have them in a program over a 2 year period instead of waiting until the last minute to call up players. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think this last campaign, I think COVID played a part in bringing the players in early. Because things could have done a different way. We could have gotten them in a little bit earlier. If you looked at when the first lockdown came
I'm not hearing
before,
him, supporter.
are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? I'm not mute because
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. So COVID I think played a part. If you look at the first lockdown that we had, I think that hampered a lot of stuff in terms of getting the documents for the players process on time and so forth. And one of the biggest thing is to get the team together. After that November game that we played, was it November against Saudi Arabia?
Yes,
We haven't had any game again. And then the World Cup qualifiers start, and then the players start coming in. It's gonna be always difficult to have a team gel at that stage. So when you look at the gelling process starts from the Gold Cup. And remember, there were players coming in after the Gold Cup, the Michael Antonios and so forth. Those players should have brought into the Gold Cup to help the gelling process of the team. And I
true.
think I think that's caused a lot of um, things in the team because the preparation wasn't as good, because everything was happening pitchy patchy, and you can't in the world of football you can't have that. I
True.
think the federation tried, but because of the nature of the beast, which is COVID, it hampers them a whole lot. And from morning, we were the best of planning. And then
Yes,
COVID comes in now, it's going to shake up a lot of things and throw a lot of things off.
yes, yes. Yeah, and but remember, COVID started say March of 2020. But after we had the failed campaign in 2018, at least 2019, we should have started some recruiting and some preparation towards 2022. So if we had started some work from then, you know, um, we would have been a little bit ahead, even with COVID intervening. But what we have inherited now is something that has been going on for many, many years. I mean, before France 98, there were some other factors that affected us um, qualifying for the for the World Cup. You know, living in the country, although I was born in Kingston, but I grew up in the country, went to Clarendon College. And what we noticed that a lot of the players from the country region in those days, they didn't get the opportunity as the urban players. So sometimes the best team or the best squad wasn't selected. So Rene Simonis came and changed that. He went all over Jamaica, and everybody got a fair opportunity. So I think that's what made the difference with the '98 campaign.
True, true. And guess what? We probably need to go back to that blueprint where we go island wide to find the talents because Jamaica is never short of talent. So I think we need to go back to that blueprint. And not only that, what we need to do now is that there's a bunch of under 20 players who have shown interest now to represent the country. And if we can bring in the young players now, because you look at it in another 2 years, I think the World Qualifier starts again, and
Yes,
maybe even before that. But I don't think Jamaica will start playing until the 2 year mark. So if we can start bringing in some of these younger players, not only U20s, you're talking about U23s, players are in and around the age of 24, 23, to bring them into the system because there are a lot of players out there. And we need to change the way how we train the local players. We should always have a local team in training. Just like what Simons did. He has a local team in training all the time. They played a lot of games against the Premier League clubs, against select teams like parish select teams. He always see to it that they're playing football. Every month, I remember Simone says, every month the team needs to play one international game.
yes,
We need to play football because that's the only way we're gonna get a team gel, and know each other and know systems of play. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter who we're playing. In a FIFA window, yes, we play the good teams, but if it's not a FIFA window where the player's gonna be released from their clubs, you play anybody. You play Cayman, you play Barbados, you play Anguilla, you anybody, St. Kitts and Nevis, we play anybody. But when it's a FIFA date and you get the players, you start looking at the bigger pictures, the bigger team, the Trinidad and Tobago, and those teams, and move out of the region. We get into South America, Central America. We play those teams, a lot. I noticed Simons used to play Venezuela a lot. We played Peru, you know, I think on a couple of occasions we played Bolivia. I don't want to revisit that Bolivia game when we played up in Bolivia there and Ecuador, which is at high altitude. And I remember
yes,
one of the games we finished with about 8 players because they have to be giving them oxygen on the field. They couldn't breathe. The air is so tight. But we need to play football, and the more football you play, is the better the players know each other and the better the gelling of the team.
But then again, it's not a bad idea to play in high altitude. The fact that we have to play Mexico. So if we get conditioning, with 1 or 2 matches, it's not really a bad idea still.
No, it's not a
Uh,
bad idea. No, I mean I'm for it. I'm for it. I just reiterate that. I mean, revisiting that game, it was a disaster. But it
yeah.
is good. It is good to play at altitude. Even if we're gonna before we play at Mexico, we train in Colorado or one of those places. Our good friend and former national coach for the under 20s. under 20 female team, and the assistant coach London also has a nice complex up in Colorado there. And
Okay.
Colorado is not very far from Mexico, so it would be good that if Jamaica reach out to him whenever we have to play Mexico, and you go up there for even a week and train before you jet over to Mexico to play in the Azteca. It will be good. It will be good for the
Yes.
team.
Yes. 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 So in terms of the marginalization of players based on where you're born or where you live. Do you think that is really one of the problems that is affecting our local football? Are you with me, Mr. Porter?
I I heard a little bit of it. I heard that you said where the players were born and
No,
so forth.
no. I was saying with the marginalization of our players based
Hmm.
on where you live or where you're born. Do you think that is a major factor that is affecting our football or moving our football to a more professional level?
It it can, it can, but I wouldn't put it 100% says that has anything to do with it. To get our football, local football, in a professional manner, we need to have proper structure and planning. I think in terms of the top league, I think we need more teams. I don't think 12 teams is enough to get our football um, to the level that it's supposed to be. A 12 team Premier League, and each squad probably have, I would say, 25, maybe 30 max players to choose from to select a national team is too little of a number. I'd say that our top league need at least 18 to 20 teams. There a lot of people would say it differently, but the the lower divisions in Jamaica, I think we should copy what the MLS is doing. I think we're too small of an island to have a promotion and relegation system, because then it boils down to money, because the lesser clubs don't have the funding to facilitate a relegation and promote. Say for instance, a team like um, in is it in St. James, Faulkner are one of those teams to get promoted from their Division One into Premier League. They don't have the money. They don't have the
Yeah,
funding. To get into the professional system, you have to have the money. You have to have the setup, to facilitate that. So what I think we need to do is we need to have, say, 20 teams in the Premier League, and we need to concentrate on building those teams, getting their facility up to standard, where they have a clubhouse, good playing surface, good changing room for in the clubhouse for the players, even a dining area where the players can come in and sit down and eat, a, um, a fun area, game place where they can come in when they camp to games. And if also you can have a big enough facility where you can house the players. So when they come into to training, they They don't have to leave to go home. They come in on maybe a Tuesday, and your games are on the weekend, and you come in and you stay there. You don't have to go out again, and it will be more control having the players in one location than players all over the place to come in. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what their nightlife is, and so forth. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So these are some of the things that we need to look into, and I have some great ideas if the federation will willing to sit down and listen. I mean, I know it's not gonna happen overnight because it takes money to do all of these things. But once you start the ball rolling, I think the private sector, of Jamaica will come in to play because teams can't be owned by one entity in Jamaica unless there's a big entity like
Yes.
DNG, Grace Kennedy, who it's a multi-million-dollar company. But if
Right.
you can have a couple of people, few people join forces together to own teams, one of those pro teams, it will be better, and those things will pay off in the long run.
Right. Yes. Yes. One concern I have though, Mr. Porter, is that I don't think the JFF relish being helped by members of the public, because you have people in the public with certain skill sets and certain ideas who don't necessarily want a salary. They just want the football to do well. They just want to be at a World Cup. There are others that might say, all right, just give me a stipend because I have to be making phone calls, I have to be burning my gas on, so just give me a small stipend and I'll do this for you. And I'm not sure if the JFF is really appreciative of those kind of assistance. Have you have any encounter as it relates to offering assistance and the assistance is not readily accepted? Your audio went again, Mr. Porter.
Yeah, true, true. I mean, you kind of hit a nail there on the head. But um, what we need to do, we need to market the football. You understand? We need to market the football, and if we don't market the football properly, nobody is gonna get up and fund the football. So and I don't know, but this administration, it's hard to get funding. I don't know the reason why, but I mean, I always pray that the people in Jamaica will see beyond certain things and decide to put money in the football and put the football first and don't think about other things. I mean, in the long run, everybody is looking to garner something from their investment. People don't want to invest their money without getting back things for their investment. But we have to look into it and say Jamaica is not the best or the richest when it comes on to our football. So we have to help and we have to chip in and help. You know, I I I made a suggestion on coaches just the other night, to the diaspora that if we can identify ways on how we can help the football, we need to one of the things I mentioned is to set up a GoFundMe, you know, so we can aid the football. And you have people who is for it and people who is against it, and there are reason being why they're against it, but I don't want to get into those reasons. I think
Yeah.
I think the reason there can be a lame reason, and it also can be good. But we just need to look into it and see if we can come up with some good ideas and start help our football.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Because I, for one, because the president is from my parish, and I, for one, reach out to the president several times with some ideas and some assistance. I'm not charging free of cost, and um, it's not readily, looked into or accepted. So that was a concern for me, as to whether or not the JFF really um, relishes assistance. And if you're getting assistance and it's not going to cost you anything, I beg to wonder why is it the JFF wouldn't really want to accept these assistance? So it's a it's a concern of me.
I don't know myself. I honestly don't know myself. You know, we we probably have to ask the federation, ask the president and the gensec why. You know, but we need to do something about it.
Yes,
You know, to help our football. You know, on that note, MPEC,
yes.
I have to run. Thanks for having me, but we can do this again
Yeah,
because
man.
in 40 minutes I
Most
have a
certainly,
training
because
session.
we have not looked at the finer details as yet, and we also have not looked at possible players we can engage to start the next cycle, because the JFF cannot really wait until next year. We have to start the work right now. We have to start the groundwork. So
And that
I'm really appreciative of you being here. Like I said, I usually do pre-recorded video, so I don't really have a large stream audience, but they will watch it later. So hopefully next time when we have a live stream, we'll have some audience, and then we can take some questions from the audience.
oh, definitely, definitely. What we can do is we can have coaches desk and everybody else advertise it for us, you know,
Yes,
and have them over here and get it done. You know, yeah, maybe a Sunday earlier would be good,
yes.
on
Sundays are
on
best
a
for me.
Saturday. Yeah,
Yes, so maybe we can start earlier, maybe at
but
1
we'll
p.m.
definitely do it again.
Yes. Yes, yes, welcome, Coach Minzy. Um, Devon have a limited time, unfortunately, so we have to wrap up. But we can give this stream a like, and we'll try to do this again, Coach. Next Sunday or one. We started late this week, but we'll try to do this next
Yes,
week Sunday
we'll
at
do it
one.
earlier.
Yeah, earlier, because there are some serious matters we need to get into, and I'll try my endeavor best to get Mr. Ricketts on the panel next week or sometime in the future, so we can have some of our questions answered, because I have many questions that are still not answered, and we need some clarity.
Okay, I'll second that. If you can have him, I'll second that.
Yeah, man. So what we'll do next time, Devon, we'll schedule the stream maybe 2 hours in advance, so you give us enough time to promote the stream, so we can have an audience,
Okay,
participate in
definitely,
this discussion.
definitely.
Yeah, man. So hopefully
All right, take care.
I'll
Thanks for
see you
having me.
later on coaches decks.
Yes, thanks for having me. We'll talk
Yeah, man.
later.
All right. All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay. All right, take care. Okay, bye.